Hi guys, I just wanted to present to you a video, hopefully it's a short one, that leads into this. So, Canada just said that they are to cut off electricity to the United States because we need to feel the pain. So this was published yesterday. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said on Monday that he would block energy exports to the United States with a smile if President Donald Trump moved ahead with plans for a 25% tariff on Canadian goods. Trump announced on Monday that tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China would go into effect on Tuesday. And why does this matter? Because in response to Trump's tariffs, Ottawa and Beijing have announced plans to retaliate, sparking fears of global trade war. The U.S. imposed tariffs of 25% of Canadian goods except for energy products, which face a 10% tariff. It also puts a 25% tariff on imports from Mexico and an additional 10% on Chinese goods. According to figures from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, Canada is by some margin the largest source of American energy imports, with 59% of all crude oil imported into the U.S. in 2019 coming from the country. So energy imports give Canada a powerful lever to hit back at Trump administration in a way that is likely to raise prices and stoke inflation in the U.S. We were already going through a lot. But this is, Revelation 6:3, third seal, day's wages, talking about the economic collapse. Speaking at a mining convention on Monday, Ford, a progressive conservative, addressed the Trump administration directly. "I don't start a tariff war, but we're going to win this tariff war," he said. He adding, "If they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do everything, including cutting off their energy," with a smile on my face, "and I'm encouraging every other province to do the same." Ford added, "They rely on our energy. They need to feel the pain." And the main states, it says in NBC interview on Monday, Ford said Canadian energy kept the lights on for 1.5 million homes and manufacturing facilities in New York, in Michigan, and in Minnesota. So this is some pretty serious stuff that they've made threats about. And, a lot of us have had dreams of an EMP lights out scenario. And I'm going in here because one of my main dreams that I had was in this. I have a ton of books that I've had dreams about. And, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read. I can show you. This is my journal. You can tell it's not made up. This was on 2/9/16. 2016. It was about my biological sister. I'm going to fast forward through this. I had a dream that I was in my biological sister Cassie's house with her husband Jason. They are Wiccan, so they don't believe in God. I went over there to tell them that they needed to stock up on food and water. It was snowy out, so I'm not sure if it was winter or early spring. It was very cold out, and I remember seeing a porch with stairs that I was walking down, trying to chase my sister down to tell her what is to come. She told me she didn't want to hear it. I told her, "You don't have a choice." I said, "Look, you need to stock up. It's coming. The financial collapse will come, and then the rapture." So I convinced her to come inside with me. I went in this room, and there was white papers on the wall. They had writing on them. Some said Bible scriptures, other were prayers. Some said rapture and tribulation, financial collapse, and so on. And as I stood there talking to her, I saw all these babies. She was watching in the same room. There were 6 of them. I tried my best. I was praying with her, and she kept on ignoring me. She finally said, "Okay, I believe in God. Is that what you want to hear?" Her husband Jason came in and said, "I do not want to hear this junk," and started using God's name in vain. I started praying again. I leaned up against the wall and slumped on the floor and started crying. As I stood up out of nowhere, all this food and water appeared. All of a sudden, the rapture happened, and I was taken. I saw that the babies turned to baby dolls and wrapping them in blankets, trying to figure out what happened. As I was raptured, God told me to go back to earth to her and witness. Now, I don't know 100%, so don't put that in my... Just because I dreamt that doesn't mean that that's going to happen, that we're coming back to Earth and all that. I don't know. Okay, this was what the dream was about. And so I came back in my spiritual body within a blink of an eye. I came back and asked her if she believes in the rapture and God. She said yes and fell on her face. And then I woke up. So that was in 2016 about a financial collapse. I've had several of these types of dreams. Like I said, I've had over 350 dreams. I've had warning dreams, and then this dream right here, the colors dream, is what I really liked, because what is coming up? We have Easter that is coming up. And this, in my dream, this was January 13th of 2016, going down at the end. This is also when I saw that the war began, that the missiles started hitting America at this time. And I actually have all these dreams on my channel. You'd really have to scroll through many years. I deleted a lot of stuff though as well. So I have a point where I'm saying this. So now, another thing, 22 hours ago, Trump announces U.S. crypto reset. What is cryptocurrency? So on, which we already know. President Trump announced that Sunday that the U.S. would be creating a crypto reserve to boost the growing industry. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed by the Presidential Working Group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, SOL, and ADA, Trump proposed to social media. Trump said he will make the United States the crypto capital of the world. His announcement comes just after the White House announced it would be welcoming cryptocurrency industry professionals on March 7th in a first of its kind summit. Okay, that's all right. Let's continue reading here, because this is just wow. On March 3rd, guess what just happened? Another historical investment secured under Presidential Trump. Today, President Donald Trump joined Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, CEO CC Wei, to announce a historic $100 billion investment by TSMC in its Arizona-based semiconductor chips manufacturing operation, the largest foreign direct investment in U.S. history. This is the chips, the microchips for the mark of the beast. Just letting you know. This $100 billion in new investment will go into building 5 cutting-edge fabricating facilities in the great state that we just discussed, Arizona, and will create thousands of jobs, many thousands of jobs, and they're high-paying jobs. In total, today's announcement brings Taiwan Semiconductor's investment to about $165 billion. It's going to create thousands of high-paying jobs. We're going to produce many chips to support AI's progress and to support the smartphone's progress. I want to thank President Trump again for his support. President Trump has made its fundamental objective to bring semiconductor chips manufacturing home to America. You're seeing the power of Donald Trump's presidency because TSMC, the greatest manufacturer of chips in the world, is coming to America with $100 billion investment. Since taking office, President Trump has secured nearly $2 trillion in U.S.-based investment, and the best is yet to come. I don't know about you, but that ain't good. So I want to read you this other thing. A couple other things, actually. Reason being, are you paying attention? Okay, so I'm going back now. So Project Stargate is leading us closer and closer to the beast system, okay? Which we know that he funded, what was it, $500 billion, $500 million? Yeah, for that. Being put into place, and most people are completely clueless as to what it leads. So this has happened very rapidly. So there's so much deception on its way, and the people who are heroes in the eyes to so many Christians are going to be used to push and promote the deception. We're already seeing it. Anyone who's pushing for AI and convincing us to become one with the machine is most certainly not on your side. It says AI is ready to rewrite your genetic code. We've seen transhumanism and what it's doing. We've seen Elon Musk ahead of that as well. And now, here's the system that is using the problem reaction solution model to usher in the new digital prison. The problem, the corruption, the wasteful spending, and inefficiency of the current system are being exposed. The reaction, the public demands a better alternative. The pre-planned solution, the old system is replaced with a technocratic state powered by AI algorithms, increased surveillance, and tighter control, offering even fewer freedoms than before. Most people are unknowingly begging for their own enslavement, all because the establishment gave them fake heroes to lead them into it. And Trump vows to enforce Antichrist Noahide laws, HJR 104, PL 102-14, according to Sanhedrin 56A for Noahides, convinced of a capital crime. The only sanctioned method of execution is decapitation, considered one of the lightest capital punishments. This stuff is not fake news. You can find this stuff on the web, almost on any source, Israeli source as well. And then, let's see here. So the Internal Light, the Israel Heritage Foundation, with profound gratitude, presents this Covenant of Peace Award to the Prince of Peace, President Donald J. Trump, Monday, February 26th of 2014, which was the 17th day of Adar, 5784. Margot logo. You can see that. This was on their website. You can look all this stuff up yourself. This is where we are at in Bible prophecy, guys. So I'm going to keep going. Got a few more things to read. So, New Delhi, China's nuclear-powered submarines, nicknamed Sharks by the PLA Navy, are becoming more stealthy and capable, according to a recent report by the U.S. Naval War College. The reports claim that China is on the verge of producing world-class nuclear submarines that can rival the Russian Akula I-class SSN in terms of propulsion, quieting sensors, and weapons. The People's Liberation Army Navy, which is plan, is on a focus on stealth. That's some scary stuff, because we know China, NATO, Russia is all going to come against the United States. But we also know this stuff, not all this stuff can take place until when? That's right, the rapture. So, I want to read you guys something as well. All right. So this happened. Donald Trump announced to the world that America would be the world capital of artificial intelligence. Okay, and what does it state in Revelation 13? It talks about the beast system. That we know that this is for the Great Reset, which I'm going to explain to you what that is. So Donald Trump announces to the world that America would be, okay, all right, so that just really happened. There are also believers who consider the rapture an unimportant event and have never thought about or read the Bible specifically about it. There is even often an attitude of, I am far above such discussion, and they seem proud not to concern themselves with the things of the rapture. There's a strange attitude because it's such a big point throughout the Bible, and we see that. So how can people turn away? So we know that these events are the turning point for the rapture, and we know that there's major consequences, for the interpretation of the rest of the Bible. And we know that the relationship of the church in Israel is and how it develops in with history. So it's closely related to what Paul calls the whole counsel of God, which we find in Acts 20:27. And that he preaches as an apostle. Moreover, it has everything to do with the hope from which a Christian may live. Is our future the wrath of God upon all the earth, which is Revelation 6:16, or is our future the meeting of our Savior in his glory, 1 John 3:2, which we already know there is a rapture and a second coming. There's the different scriptures that are written down. You guys can screenshot this, vice versa, reverse. There's lots of other scriptures. And then it says, so now, this is what we have going on. We have Purim that's coming up. And the destruction of Elam. Alright, so we have the Feast of Purim, which is mentioned in Esther chapter 9, which isn't just about God's hand of protection over the Jews, but also over his power to allow the Jews to defend themselves against those who rise up to destroy them. Hamas and Hezbollah knew that the hostage deal was about to collapse and hence have coordinated with Iran to resume the war against Israel by mid-March, right around Purim, which falls on March 14th. Okay, and March 14th, not only Purim, but it also happens to be, look at this, total lunar eclipse, moon turned to blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So on February 21st, Iran declared Operation The Righteous Truth No. 3 would be launched to destroy Israel. Iran fears an immediate attack on its nuclear facilities and has significantly increased all its defenses near nuclear sites with forces on maximum alert. Jeremiah 49:35. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. Iranian FM Arakachi, an attack on their nuclear sites will immediately trigger an all-out war in the region. So, and Europe is choosing sides. So the U.S. is backing out from Ukraine, but Europe is going forth with the war. So we know that the rapture is imminent. We do not know the day or hour of it. So no one needs to be predicting that. We are in the season. We are definitely in the timing for it. And with Purim coming up, and what else is happening this month? Let's see. We have the red heifer sacrifice, which is happening on Friday, March 21st to the nightfall of Saturday, March 22nd. So the red heifer is a biblical figure that is part of the process of purification for the Jews people and the Kohanim. The red heifer is also a type of Christ, foreshadowing his death outside of Jerusalem. All right, and the red heifer must be 3 years old, perfect in its redness, and have red hooves. The ashes of the red heifers are used to cleanse the priesthood so that the sacrifices can be made. This is also in part of the third temple. The third temple stones have already been made. They've already been in the making of this, which I've been said since 2022. So this has been going on for 3 years now. We are in the midst of this. And so in this is going to officially build the rest of it, and the eradication doesn't take long. Within 3 months, some say 90 days, but it's not going to take long to eradicate. It doesn't take years to get this built up. All right, and then April 12th through the 20th, we have Passover. Oh, and also March 21st is also the first day of spring. The same with the red heifer sacrifice, and then we have the blood moons, and then we have the lunar eclipse, and then we have a solar eclipse, and then we have all this other prophetic events, and we have the barley harvest, which would also, at the timing of the barley, would begin what? Their new year. Boom. So we are definitely in the timing. And then we have the fig tree generation, which Israel will be 77 years old on May 14th of this year. Now, the ending we know that May 13th of 2028 would be the 80 years, but the ending of that would be May 13th of 2029. May 14th of 2029 would begin the 81st year. So we're extremely close. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Daniel 9:24 through 27. Psalm 90:10, how this all correlates together with this timing. I've shared scriptures many times. People don't want to study. That is on them. But now, however, the marriage was before Passover. I'm just giving scriptures. I'm just reading information. Take it as you will. I do not know the day or hour. I'm not even going to give you that. I'm just giving you a little hope and encouragement. Okay, and the third day there was a marriage. Okay, so this is John 2:1 through 13. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. After this, he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brethren and his disciples, and they continued there not many days. And the Jews' Passover was at hand. If this is referring to the third day of Nisan, that would put the Rapture, as some say, sometime in the first few days of April. Do I know this? No, I don't. It's all speculation. We won't know when Nisan begins because it depends on the sighting of the new moon, which we also know this would also begin what? The barley. When the barley becomes a Abib, it's anywhere in between March and April. It completely depends because they have to have 2 out of 3 people stating that the barley is a Abib in order for it to be a Abib, and then after that it has to have a new moon sighting for it to begin their new year. And on the calendar it's March 30th. So we can't go off these dates. Remember that. These are just dates that are on the calendar already put here. But it also depends on the sighting of the moon. And so this is right now is just a high watch time. All right, and so the third day of the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. Exodus 19:11-15 through 20. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. Revelation 19:5 through 9. Now, I found that encouraging only because I know that with all these prophetic events going on, that makes us that much closer. However, as of 2026, they have been saying that the biometric system, the Great Reset, the money, all of it will be like everybody is going to have this by 2026. The biometric system, the chips and all of that. So if everybody wants to sit and state, well, the mark of the beast and stuff can't come out till mid-trib, what do you think the red heifer sacrifice is signifying? I mean, it's in the Bible. It's okay, so we're going to talk about the Great Reset. The Great Reset Initiative is an economic recovery plan drawn up by the World Economic Forum in response to the C-19 pandemic. The project was launched in June of 2020, and a video featuring then Prince of Wales Charles was released to mark its launch. The initiative's stated aim is to facilitate rebuilding from the global C-19 crisis in a way that prioritizes sustainable development. WEF Chief Executive Klaus Schwab described 3 more components of the Great Reset: creating conditions for a stakeholder economy, building in a more resilient, equitable, and sustainable way, utilizing environmental, social, and governance metrics, and harnessing the innovations of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. In a speech introducing the initiative, International Monetary Fund Director Kristalina Georgieva listed 3 key aspects of a sustainable response to C-19: green growth, smarter growth, and fairer growth. The Great Reset was the theme of the 2021 World Economic Forum annual summit in Davos, Switzerland, scheduled for January 2021. Due to disruption from the C-19, the summit was postponed to May of 2021 and again to 2022. The Davos 2022 theme was History at a Turning Point, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine dominated the summit. The Great Reset Initiative and the World Economic Forum more generally has been criticized by some commenters for promoting economic deregulation and greater role in policy for unrepresentative private businesses. I have a reason I'm grabbing this. Other commenters attacked the scheme for fixating on the concept of education, health, and vastly overestimating the ability of a group of decision makers to bring about global change, or for promoting crony capitalism. So, this is what the Great Reset generally is about. So, if you want to learn more, you can learn about all of this stuff, but this stuff is in the making, and this is exactly the whole point of all this stuff with the bird flu, the prices that's going up. You see gas prices going down. When you see that, you know that a collapse is coming. That's not a good thing. People think, oh my gosh, gas prices are way down, but it's not a good thing. You need to look more into that investment. And so, yeah. Anyways, I was going to read this, but I think that I'm going to hold off until I officially wait, because I don't think I need to share this just yet. So anyways, there's some information for you guys to really think on, chew on, and know that we are so daggone close. It is so exciting. So hold fast, guys. See you there in the air. God bless.